Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Hooverlux. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso y salam alaikum. Welcome to the channel, y'all. Chesh, yakshimash, good day and howdy, y'all. Today we're going to be doing a gadget review on the JML DriBUDDI. JML is a kind of like brand here in the UK. I don't know if JML exists in other countries. It may do it under a different name, I don't know. But JML have been around for a long time, and they do appliances and gadgets and things. Steam cleaners, cooking pots, you name it, JML do it. And one of the products that they advertised was a JML DriBUDDI for drying your clothes in an economical and fast way. So I'll go into details more on the DriBUDDI itself. I bought it not long after they first come out, so it's got to be about 5 years ago, I think. I can't really remember the exact time, but I bought it from the shopping channel on TV from JML, and I used it for a couple of times, and then stopped using it, and then it ended up then in the eaves of the garage then for the past I don't know how many years. So I thought I would bring it out and do a review on it, and then sell it on eBay, because I personally don't like it, and I'll go into the reasons why I don't like it when I show the demo. So I've done a load of laundry, a coloured load of laundry, which is over there in the basket of various t-shirts and stuff. And what I'm going to do some of it in the DriBUDDI, and some of it then on my normal little hanging clothes horse that I normally put the clothes on anyway, and we'll see how the results are. And when I go through showing you the DriBUDDI, I'll tell you the reasons why I didn't like it. So, Millie and Zach, you going to help Daddy do the DriBUDDI? Yes? Right, let's crack on with the demonstration. So this is the JML DriBUDDI. Now there are lots of videos on this, including the professional videos, so if you want to see something professional, go and watch them. If you want to see me blundering around talking like this, then obviously carry on watching. So, the DriBUDDI, what is it? It is a drying pod. If I take off the top, unzip the entire thing. Now the cover on this comes off, as you can see, and as you saw in one of my videos in the past, because this had been up in the garage eaves for so long that it needed washing, so I gave it a wash, on a cool wash, on a low spin, took it out, placed it over itself, turned it on, and it was dry within 20 minutes, so it dried itself. So, here we have like an umbrella stand. There's a clip on there which holds it up, and this is what you use to hang your garments on. There's little nodules on the top that hold the coat hangers on, like this. As you can see, you're supposed to put 1, 2, 3 items of clothing per size, per arm. So just by doing this with coat hangers with nothing on them, you can see that, okay, fine, the 3 of them are on. When you go and do the next one, the coat hangers are then touching each other, and the problem I had was in these corners where all the clothes and the material are gathered together, they wouldn't dry. So in theory, the amount of clothes that you can put on it are limited, because you have to have every single item of clothing not touching. So really you can only fit 9 items on the DriBUDDI for them to dry properly, because you can't have anything touching, you have to have it open. If you have anything thick, then you have to take one away, because again, you can't have the corners touching, because the corners won't dry. It'll only dry in certain areas. So it's kind of limiting. I mean, I guess you could hang something up onto these to hang down, maybe bras or something, I don't know, but you can't have anything touching, because that area will stay as a cold zone and won't dry. So that was one of the negative things. The other thing as well is you have to have coat hangers with a longer type of hook, because if you have shorter coat hangers, you can't get them on this, because this gets in the way. I have in the past hung stuff on there and there, on the sides, lighter stuff, but again, it's just restricting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's move you guys closer and we'll have a look at the controls down there at the bottom. So as designs go, I do like the design of it. I can't deny that. It is a nice design. I need to wipe that off actually. Switch it on at the wall, and then you have these controls here. Let me lower that. There we go. So on the control dial here, you have a timer mode, which goes up to 180 minutes, or you have a permanent on mode. So if you turn it that way, it comes on, the red light comes on, the heat comes up through here, there's a fan through here, this is the guard that makes the air come through, and then on this mode it'll stay on for, well, forever, as long as. Turn the dial, turns itself off. On this one we have a timer mode, so you can turn the dial to a timer. There's like a countdown clock, you can hear it. And then it will slowly work its way around for the time, and then once it's done, will just shut itself off with a click. It's not a very loud machine, it's only a light hum. So that is one good thing about it, is that it is not super loud. You can hear the fan blowing on it, but it's not too invasive. If you've got the telly on or wherever, if it's in the same room, it's not going to be too loud. And turn it off. Very nice design on it. I do need to give it a wipe over, so I shall do that now. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of multi-surface cleaner on a cloth, and then just, now be careful because this does get hot. There is a caution sign on it. And then that's all you have to do, is just don't use a lot of soapy water or anything, just maybe a damp cloth, or like I'm doing, a cloth with a bit of cleaning solution on it. You know, see, I think that was a bit dirty. So I haven't used it much. It is in excellent condition. It almost looks like new because of the lack of use on it. And I guess if you're in a tight space, then you could use it. Okay, so the reason why I didn't like it, I thought that the clothes that came out of it were bloody crispy and made it really, really creasy and really hard to, or made it harder to iron than my normal method of just letting them dry on a coat hanger. So we've got it clean. Let's get the cover on. Okay, so to put the cover on is very easy. Just make sure the zips are open. Put the cover over it. Make sure that the black ring, now this cover is like an umbrella material, and there is a heat protecting ring around the bottom so that it doesn't melt, and you literally just put it around the waist, if you call it that, the waist. Oh, actually no, it's above there, sorry, above the waist, around the neck, I mean. Zip it on, and if you leave it partially zipped up, and just drop it down, open up the umbrella and start putting the clothes on. Now this is what I normally use to hang stuff up on to dry on the inside. This is what I normally use. So what I'm going to be doing is putting some clothes into the DriBUDDI and some clothes on my normal little clothes horse hanger. Right, let me move you back a bit. Okay, so that's a bit better. So I've done the washing. What have I got? I have got some pajama t-shirts. I don't normally dry these hanging up. I put them straight into the tumble dryer. But for drying purposes, for demonstrating purposes, I thought I would do it this way. So hang your clothing up. Like so. Make sure that there's no bunched up bits or creases. So we've got 3 t-shirts. And I'm going to put another t-shirt on my bog standard dry rack. So again, if I was to put this here, it would interfere with it and it would bunch up, so I can't put it there. You have to make sure these are in their proper racks, and I'm going to have to skip one and put it there. Put another t-shirt on my normal rack. So this is my work gilet, and this is like a polyester type of material. I turned it inside out. There we go. So that's a lot thicker, so I'll put this on the back so it's not touching. I'll put one of my work polo shirts onto that. And one more t-shirt onto the DriBUDDI. Right, let me get some more coat hangers, hang on. Okay, I'm back. Another t-shirt on the standard dryer. Now I got some shirts. So I'm going to put 2 shirts on the DriBUDDI. At the back. So you do have to be careful which coat hangers you have, because some coat hangers won't fit. It's best to use the plastic ones. The metal ones can get hot and could possibly damage the material, so I wouldn't recommend using metal coat hangers, just in case. It might not happen, but just in case. And I got 1 shirt left that I'm going to hang up in my normal room dryer. There we go. Right, okay. Let's take a quick look. So here is some of the items just on my bog standard in the room air dryer there, and then the rest then we've got on the DriBUDDI. So a little bit more into the room, and as you can see, all the clothes are on their appropriated racks, and you can see there's no real room for these unless you had something that could angle down possibly, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that if you wanted to give you a little bit more airspace, but again, you're making the clothes touch, so the clothes shouldn't be touching, so I'm just going to separate them out so you can see that's how they hang underneath. So what we're going to do now is put on the cover and we'll start it up. So you could of course have the cover kind of on it and then put the clothes in, or you could do it this way and put the cover over once you hang up the clothes. Just make sure all your items are tucked in. Bring up the cover. Make sure everything is on its racks. And everything is tidy. And then you just zip up the front, like so. Zip up the flaps at the top. Make sure those flaps are down. Okay. Make sure you can see everything. Yes, you can, kind of. Hang on, let me move you back. There we go. And I'm going to set the timer on this for 60 minutes. And then the air blows in. And now you can see exactly how the DriBUDDI works. And then you just leave it. So we will come back to the DriBUDDI in 60 minutes. Okay, so we're back with my JML DriBUDDI that has been going for an hour. It just switched off, so I turned it back on so you'd see it fully expanded, blown up. The smell, because if you use laundry detergents or fabric softeners, your room gets filled with this lovely smell of drying laundry, so it's a very good air freshener. So let's turn it off. There we go. Let's open it up. Let's take it back. Now, this is wet down here at the bottom and this side. This is also wet. It's dry at the top but damp at the bottom. This one is definitely drier, but it's still a bit wet at the bottom. Joey, you'll have to wait for foodies. This one, wet on the arms, top part's dry, damp at the bottom. Again, wet on the arms. Maybe this one you can actually see the line of where it's wet but dry here. The gilet, damp at the bottom. And the shirts, cuffs are wet, collar's damp. It's not super dry. but it's not super dry, it's Asda. And this again, wet. So not super successful for after an hour. So there's no different settings on it for heat or anything, it's just one setting. The thing about it is it's touching the sides at the back. So let's put them in a different order. Got one, not one, got one. This one. Okay. Oops. Right, let's try it again. This time we'll try it for another hour. And I'm not doing anything, I'm not overloading it, I'm not filling it up any way that it shouldn't be. This is exactly how it's supposed to be done. I'm going to set the timer for an hour. Make sure nothing is... It's all in there. Okay, right, let's leave that for an hour. Come back to it and see how it is. By the way, I've got the clothes here which are just drying on coat hangers. And yeah, they're definitely a lot damper. Yeah. And the shirt as well. Oh, the shirt's not too bad actually. I guess it's because it's thinner material. Right, okay, one more hour. Let's check to see what it looks like then. So everything has been on for another hour. The one thing I do like about it is that it does make everything smell nice. Okay, so everything is dry. It's nice and warm to the touch. Yeah. So I've managed to dry 9 items of clothing in 2 hours. This is pretty much dry. But what I normally do with these with items of clothing is that I'll put them in the tumble dryer on a manual setting for about 20 minutes. If I'm doing t-shirts, I'll put 7 t-shirts in for every 20 minutes. And if I'm doing shirts, then I won't put no more than a maximum of 4 shirts in for a 20-minute cycle. And then they come out then, and I just literally just have to fold them or hang them up, and they don't need ironing. I'm not really one for ironing. But if you don't have a tumble dryer, which obviously is the reason for having one of these, they don't really come out. You still have to iron them. So if you're going to be doing your ironing, you may as well just iron them anyway. But when I take these out to the tumble dryer normally, and I just hang them up, they don't need ironing. It's very rare that I do any ironing now, to be honest. Okay, right, so the DriBUDDI verdict. Yeah, it's alright, it'll dry it in a desperation if you're looking for somewhere, if you are in a really small space that you want to dry clothing. But As for hanging items on every single one of these hooks, I'm having 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 items of clothing on there. They're going to have much narrower coat hangers, or you're going to have to drape things over. So I don't really like it, to be honest. So I'm only doing this one demo with it. I'm going to let it cool down, and then I'm going to pack it up and I'm going to put it on eBay, because I'm never going to use it again, to be honest. I prefer my old method of either hanging the clothes up outside on the line, or hanging them up in here during winter if it's raining, and then putting them in the tumble dryer for 20 minutes ago, just to take out any of the creases. But there we go. So yeah, that is the JML DriBUDDI. Maybe if these were bigger, if the whole thing was bigger, but then I guess it's kind of like taking up a lot of space. But if they had like an XL version of this, possibly that would be better, that you could fit more clothing on it. But the adverts are very misleading when it's full of clothes. I don't believe it'll do that a good a job. It's pretty well made. It's not too flimsy. I've seen flimsier items. It's not too bad. It stood the test of time, but not through full use. But yeah, it's up to you. There we go. I don't like the DriBUDDI personally myself. But thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye y'all.